So a problem is asking you to predict the results of a test cross. But what is a test cross? Why would you do one? And what do the results mean? Hi biology friends, it's Sarah, your other biology professor, and let's talk about test crosses. With test in the name, we're trying to figure something out. So let's work with Mendel's P's. Through crosses, Mendel figured out that the purple flower color is dominant over the white flower color. So let's use big P for the purple flower allele and little p for the white flower allele. You're out in the garden and you see a plant with white flowers. What's its genotype? Little p, you need 2 copies of that little p recessive allele in order to get white flowers. Next to it, you see a plant with purple flowers. What's its genotype? Well, it could be big P, or it could be big P, little p. Either of those genotypes would get you the purple flower phenotype. But how can we figure out what that genotype actually is? A test cross. So you can use a test cross to determine the genotype of an individual that has the dominant phenotype. In a test cross, you're going to test your unknown individual to an individual that is homozygous recessive or true breeding recessive. Interpreting the results of our cross will show whether our individual of interest has the homozygous dominant or the heterozygous genotype. So in order to test cross our mystery purple flowered plant, what genotype will the other parent, the tester individual, have? Little p, right? Homozygous recessive. And what would its phenotype be? Perfect, white flowers. Let's look at the test cross. So we know that our tester parent will contribute a little p allele to all offspring. That's the only thing they have. And so the offspring phenotypes will reflect the contribution of the other parent or mystery parent. If all offspring from the test cross show the dominant phenotype, here that's purple flowers, that means that our mystery parent gave all of them a dominant allele. And that's what we'd expect if that parent is indeed homozygous dominant, big P. But if you're seeing any recessive phenotypes in those offspring, so here that's white flowers, that means that our mystery parent was heterozygous. It's purple, but it carries a recessive white allele. Those offspring all inherited a white allele from that tester parent and had an equal chance of inheriting either a big P, purple, or a little p, white allele from our mystery parent, giving us a 1-to-1 ratio of phenotypes. You can also do a test cross involving more than one trait. So maybe our mystery purple flowered plant was also tall, another dominant phenotype. In that scenario, you'd pick a tester that was double recessive, so white flowers and short. And we'd know its genotype. Little p gives you white flowers, little t, short plant. But for our mystery tall plant, there are 4 possible genotypes that could give us that phenotype. We won't look at all the cross options, just keep in mind that like before, if you see any recessive phenotypes in the offspring, that means that our mystery parent had to be heterozygous for that trait. So if the offspring all had purple flowers, but some were tall and some were short, that would tell us that our mystery parent was homozygous dominant for the flower color. None of the offspring picked up a second recessive allele to make them white, and that our mystery parent had to be heterozygous for the plant height trait. About half the offspring inherited a short allele from our mystery parent. Think through this result. If some of the offspring had white flowers and some had purple flowers, but all of them were tall, what's the genotype of our mystery parent? Pause the video if you need a second to think about it. Our mystery genotype is big P, big T. So our mystery parent was heterozygous for flower color. Those white flowered offspring had to have inherited a second white allele from somewhere, and homozygous dominant, true breeding, for plant height. And here's a quick tip for you. A 1-to-1-to-1-to-1 ratio of offspring phenotypes from a 2-trait test cross indicates that your mystery parent was double heterozygous. And that can be a helpful ratio to recognize when you're working problems. In a test cross, don't forget to cross your individual of interest to one that is homozygous recessive for each trait you're looking at. If all of the offspring showed the dominant phenotype, your mystery parent was homozygous dominant. If you see recessive offspring, that mystery parent was heterozygous. Drop me a like if test crosses are less mysterious for now. Subscribe for more biology content from me. Check out my website for tutoring resources, and I will see you next time.